Welcome to the Flaktest Weekly Patch, Round 1.
Brigitte enters Overwatch, but people aren't happy.
Screenplay, Channel 7's foray into esports and gaming has been cancelled.
And Red Dead Redemption 2 is finally here.
Plus, we'll catch up with Tim Raphael, Senior Admin for RFLAN, that's Red Flag LAN Fest. We'll talk about the 60th iteration that just passed last weekend, and also cross to him live at the Intel Extreme Masters in Sydney.
All right, Pete, take me through what's going on in the news at the moment. I hear Brigitte is finally in Overwatch, but people are not happy, man.
They're not happy, particularly Shield mains, and the reason being is because they're...
That's you.
That is me. Yeah, I'm not happy. So we're into Season 10 of Overwatch Competitive. It launched this week, and with it, Brigitte entered the main fray. She's been on public test regions for quite some time.
Oh, I've seen the Soul. The Soul has been pouring out.
So much Soul.
She's overpowered. No one can challenge her.
Well, it's crowd control, right? So she's very good at getting in there. She's a good flanker. She's good at her shield bash and being able to knock through tanks and their shield walls, and essentially, particularly Reinhardt mains, Orisa mains and such, they're very worried that the game is becoming too much about crowd control. So if you look at her, you pair her up with somebody like a Doomfist, it's very hard to be able to go up against them with your shield mains if you plan on, taking on that particular meta.
Yeah, but every time the new character comes out, people always go, oh, they're OP. It's just because they don't know how to counter them yet.
That's a very good point. There's a very small percentage of people who actually play the public test region.
People who have Overwatch shirts?
That's right,
yeah,
like me.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so once it actually gets onto competitive, all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh, this is what it's like to actually play this character or play against this character. I personally don't mind it, and the reason why I don't mind it is because for quite some time I've felt that the meta in Overwatch has become quite stale.
Yep.
Okay, it's a 2-2-2 or a 3-3, it's a bit of dive, it's, sit shields, it's the warship style of gameplay for the payload, everything like that. Brigitte is going to be really good at actually dispelling that whole stale meta, so that's really good to see.
And tell me what's happening with Screenplay. It came, it went, it was great, and it's gone. Yeah,
so Screenplay. This is Channel 7. For those of you who watch this show in Australia, Channel 7 is one of our nation's broadcasters, one of our main broadcasters, and they are one of the first ones in terms of free-to-air commercial television, aside from the ABC, who've been doing it for quite some time with their iteration of it, which is Good Game. They're one of the first to actually come into it and go, we're going to put this on commercial free-to-air television.
It was really cool for esports, right?
It was great for
we were like,
esports.
oh my God, finally on free-to-air. I don't think they gave it a very good time slot.
No, look, it wasn't always this time slot, but it was 11 p.m. on a Thursday night, right? And, we all sort of had this, the whole finally free-to-air, it's not fair to them to say that because ABC, well, it's not fair to the ABC because the ABC had it, right? But this was the first time where we had like a really nicely clean-cut commercial version
commercial esports TV show.
Absolutely, right? The only thing is hindsight is a beautiful thing. Here we are 10 months on down the track. They buried it on one of their digital channels, their secondary channel 7 Mate, right, at 11 o'clock on a Thursday night. Now,
I'm sure the thinking is, gamers will be up then.
Right, gamers are up there.
We are up,
but we're playing games. Okay, so that's the only thing.
And we're probably not watching free-to-air. We're probably watching Twitch or YouTube.
That's right.
Or Facebook, where this is on right now.
And a lot of conversations have been happening around whether or not it was ideal of them to put this sort of thing together on a commercial free-to-air television. If they were going to do it, how would they do it a little bit differently? The whole idea was they were being a provider of news, reviews, live streams, gameplay, interviews. They actually took a whole heap of people from ABC's Good Game.
Oh yeah, they stole them.
They did.
They went,
right?
Yoink, we'll have them. Thank you.
Niche Boy was on Good Game. Hex, of course, was on Good Game. One of the main presenters. They didn't take Barjo.
Yeah, but Barjo went where he went, okay, right, I'll go to Twitch.
Now, I would love to know the conversations that preceded the beginning of Screenplay to know whether or not Barjo was included in the conversation. Right? And this is the reason why. Barjo, as we know him now, on twitch.tv/@BarjoStream, is the Barjo we always wanted.
He's crazy.
He's crazy. He was at RFLAN 60 on the weekend.
Yeah.
Corsair brought him over. He did his live stream there. It was so awesome to actually see him do his thing in the flesh. But you watch his stream, it is everything that a gaming, and not necessarily esports, it's not really covering that in his game, but that a gaming Twitch show should be.
Oh yeah, but how funny was the transition? Like when he's off stream, Barjo's pretty quiet and he's nice.
Barjo?
He's just, hi, how you going? I'm Barjo. Yeah. And then the stream comes on. This is crazy.
He flicks a switch.
Yeah.
It's incredible to watch, and you kind of think to yourself, well, you know what, ABC, you did yourself a disservice if you held him back from being this person, right? Because this could have been amazing for Good Game. But also, Channel 7, poor form not taking him across if this is what was in him to begin with.
Yeah.
Because this here, for me, if I was a commercial television station looking at putting a gaming show together, I would be chasing him.
Yeah.
And I would be saying, we're going to give you the keys to the kingdom. We want you to essentially put what we see on Twitch onto our commercial free-to-air television.
That would be crazy. But look, I mean, that would be the Pete, Jacob and Barjo show, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool. Of
course it would.
Totally explore
Look,
that.
a few tweets. Obviously, this is the week that the fallout of Screenplay happened. A few tweets. Miles, who was at Miles the Ross, one of the producers for Screenplay, also appeared to cover esports on Screenplay as well. Said, that's a wrap. A special thanks to those who put me up for the job and the crew putting up with me on the job. Real sadness, big sad emoji, but the true gratitude goes to the community, the MVPs. Your passion, hilarity and love for the show was inspiring. This was a dream come true. We also heard from Hex saying, thanks for all your kind words tonight. Rest assured, I'll always have one foot in the world of gaming. My passion for games will forever have an outlet via Twitch, event coverage and discussions with all of you, but there's a world outside of games I plan to explore also. Very interesting, because that particular tweet says to me that as far as her foray into presenting on commercial television is concerned,
yeah,
it's not over yet.
It's not over. She's got stuff planned, I'm sure.
Channel 7, she's great. She's great to watch. She's fantastic. And they don't have a lot of youthful presenters in that ilk coming through. So certainly one of the talent of the future.
Especially female presenters involved in esports and games.
Niche Richardson, this is Niche Boy on Twitter, said, thanks to all the incredible people for all your lovely words over the last 24 hours. I've gone dark because it honestly hurt pretty bad.
Yeah.
As I can imagine, it would have hurt really bad.
Man.
Considering that, you know, they came from Good Game, which is still around and quite successful. I know now there's the iterations of Spore Point and a little bit of evolution there, right? He said, I was really proud of what we were making with Screenplay and it just kept growing. Numbers were all going up. Unfortunately, Channel 7 had different ideas.
Well, they're trying to save a heap of money.
$110 million.
Just some pocket change to save. Is that over a year or two they've got to save that?
Not even, right? Over the next 2 years, sorry. And
Yeah.
they're looking at saving another $20 million somewhere as well.
Wow.
I just want to pull up something really quickly.
Yeah.
Hindsight is incredible when you've got an opportunity to go back to when all of this started,
Yeah.
right, compared to now and see what people were saying. This was from Kotaku last year in June.
Right. What'd they say?
Hex talking to Kotaku
Yep.
about Channel 7. I was super surprised that Channel 7 were interested in getting into games in a serious way. She explained Channel 7 had seen the growth in video games, esports particularly, and wanted to be involved, but 7 didn't have a background in broadcasting video games or digital-only content, and the former Good Game hosts were initially skeptical about 7's offer. She goes on to say it was kind of an ongoing conversation because, to be honest, I didn't really think it was something that 7 was capable of until they were really clear about wanting us to be really at the forefront of producing it and creating it. And unfortunately, in a way, this has turned out to be true.
Yeah. Well, look, hindsight's 2020, but of course we wish them all the best in all their endeavours. It was a great team that put the show together. And look, I'm looking forward to seeing what they all do individually now.
We'll see them online, I'm sure. Hey, this is really exciting. This past week, finally, we got the latest trailer for Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's take a look.
Listen to me. We don't want to kill any of you. But trust me, we will. Wake them up a little! This whole thing is pretty much done. We're more ghosts than people. You have got to keep faith. They will not crush us.
Good old Dutch. My best friend. You know how we met? Pair of hucksters trying to rob each other. Back in 78 or thereabouts.
You have to love yourself a fire. It's one of the blessings. Sure, we can have fire. And we can have the knowledge of fire. But with that comes the knowledge of everything. Gentlemen, this is a robbery.
Sons of Dutch. Makes us brothers. Sometimes, brothers make mistakes.
You'll never change. I know that.
All of you venerate savagery. And you will die savagely.
Get out here! Stay strong. Stay with me.
You have to love yourself a fire.
Wow, Pete, that's crazy. And look, knowing Rockstar, it's going to be a PS4 and an Xbox release. I'm sure it's coming to PC.
Yeah, I don't know about that, and the reason being is because the original Red Dead Redemption never came to PC. Grand Theft Auto 5, when you consider that, it took a year and a half to come to PC.
It did, but look at the cash cow that GTA 5 is now on the PC. They just keep releasing DLC, and you keep having to buy the new items in the DLC to actually play the game properly. Look, the way that PS4 and Xbox One, the architecture now is, it's really easy for them to port games across.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised. But the team who's worked on Red Dead Redemption 2 now are going to be looking into GTA 6.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
can bet your butt that they are going to be bringing that to PC. That's going to be on all the consoles.
Well, it'd have to be, considering we've got Grand Theft Auto 5 on
Yeah.
PC. Now it's an expectation, right? The other thing is, it's a huge missed opportunity if Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't come onto PC, considering it appears to be, from this latest trailer, such a cinematic, epic masterpiece. Imagine that game on Ultra.
Oh man, on
Far out.
4K, that would be absolutely intense. And with a Rockstar game, you get that really awesome like storyline and that cinematic universe and that feel in the game. You can on the newer consoles now you can get that in HD and some really good quality, but on PC, that will be amazing.
Yeah, just incredible. Hey, just a few things that we know about the game so far. Slated for release, as you mentioned, on Xbox and PS4. That is coming to us in October. It'll be the third time that it has been delayed. We got that.
Well, it's meant to be
months ago. It was meant to be last year.
Yeah,
right?
it's October 26th is the date they've set now. But I would hold my breath.
I would say that's
You
pretty
reckon?
concrete. I would say, considering they've released this latest trailer, and I'd say that's pretty concrete. Along with the latest trailer, we got some gameplay details. There's a morale system that's going to be in place. So Morgan, who's the game's main character, the morale around him will actually shift and change the game as it happens. So it depends on how you
So how many
create
civvies
resources.
you shoot?
Well, how you create resources and such for the towns around you. Right?
Cool.
So very dynamic in that regard. Your horsey is your BFF.
I hope you can name your horse, because every game that I play...
Epina.
Every single game.
Of course. Spending more time with your horse will impact how it reacts to intense situation. It's really about... Honestly, it's really about the bond with your horse.
So if you run from stuff all the time, your horse is going to be this skittish nightmare that's like, nah, I'm out.
And different locations will be different for different horses. So different horses will react differently to different locations.
Right.
Some will be better for mountain or rocky terrain or grassy terrain.
Crazy.
Lakes and streams and stuff.
So you have to tune your horse.
You've got to tune your horse.
Take it to the shop, get new horseshoes for snow and stuff like that.
All that sort of stuff,
love
right? Big tennis rackets on its horse. Deadeye is back. This was from Red Dead Redemption's the first iteration of this game, and this was a big thing because it basically was a very unique thing in terms of a first-person shooter. For those of you who have never played Red Dead before, but have played Overwatch, think of the same way that Deadeye comes out as McCree's ult. That essentially, everything slows down, you get an opportunity to place your shots, and then bang, away
that
it
Matrix
goes.
bullet time kind of thing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be a dynamic world, living and breathing right around you, which means that NPCs won't be in constant loops, so get ready for some unscripted moments. And finally, it's a prequel.
It is, so they're going back to come forward to number 2.
Yeah.
So does that mean the third game will be ahead?
I don't know.
Who knows?
It's too mind-blowing.
Knowing Rockstar, we won't be getting another game for Red Dead for another 7, 8 decade. Who knows?
We got Grand Theft Auto to look forward to, hopefully. Yeah. So there you go. That covers off 3 of the biggest things that we felt that you should know on the Flaktest Weekly Patch. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to cross live to Tim Raphael, who is at Intel Extreme Masters in Sydney, checking out the latest from the quarterfinals and the semis and so on. And we also want to talk to him, considering he is senior admin for RFLAN, Red Flag LAN Fest. That is the third biggest LAN in the country and certainly by far the biggest on this side of the country, Western Australia. It was RFLAN 60 on the weekend. We'll come back with him in just a moment.
You're back on the weekly patch, round 1 for season 2018. Pete, you caught up with Tim Raphael, RFLAN.
That's right, Tim Raphael, he's senior admin for RFLAN. That's Red Flag LAN Fest 60 was on the weekend.
It's a big 6-0.
Well done, guys. Congratulations.
Nice work.
It's an awesome number and it looks fantastic. Some staggering numbers to come out of that. Also, when we crossed to him, he was at the Intel Extreme Masters.
So jealous.
He's working there at the moment. He's checking out the quarterfinals and the semis and all that sort of stuff. A lot to come out of that. A few upsets from the Australian teams as well. It's been really exciting to see. Let's catch up with Tim and see how that chat went. Tim Raphael, he's senior admin from RFLAN. That's Red Flag LAN Fest. It is the biggest LAN in Western Australia, and it is pretty damn big when you take it into across the entire country as well. And he joins me now live from the Intel Extreme Masters for CSGO this weekend. A pleasure to have you on Flaktest Weekly Patch, Tim.
Thank you very much, Pete. It's great to be doing a live cross from Sydney.
Mate, let's set the scene here. You are at the Intel Extreme Masters as we speak, Kudos Bank Arena. You've been there for the last couple of days, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So
today is the second day of the event. The doors haven't opened yet. There's people lined up outside behind me, and they're raring to go.
Far out, I bet they are. Tell us a little bit of what you've seen the last couple of days while you've been there.
It's a crazy event. So it's the Kudos Bank Arena. It's where massive artists have performed before, and it's a full-on esports stage. So what we have is the group stages have been concluded during the earlier part of the week, with teams playing off to enter into the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, and the grand final that would be held here over the next few days. What we saw yesterday was thousands of people come into the arena, check out the vendor booths, the sponsors, the marketing areas, and then file into the arena to watch the quarterfinals. What was most impressive is the Australian team, the Renegades, managed to push their quarterfinal match into 3 maps. It was absolutely insane. Unfortunately, they didn't make it through, but my gosh, they put on a hell of a fight against Mouse Sports.
And they've done...
But unfortunately, they're not making it through.
Right, they've done an incredible job leading into the quarterfinals thus far. I mean, from everything that I've heard, they've actually made it further than what anybody originally gave them credit for, right?
That's it. They did an amazing job, and they took on some teams in the group stages that people just weren't expecting them to do. But players like Nifty have just been on form, and it's been amazing to watch. If you want to go and watch the quarterfinals match, it's all over Twitch and Facebook. Go and check it out. It's an absolute gripping experience. Go and watch it. The crowd was amazing.
Unreal. Well, speaking of that, the crowd, I mean, you yourself had an opportunity to be there in amongst that crowd. What is the atmosphere like at Intel Extreme Masters Sydney?
It's insane. There's just something about a live crowd watching these games. It's so exciting. And even the hosts from ESL and some of the bosses from ESL and Intel say that the crowds in Australia are why they keep coming back. This is the second year they've done IEM at Sydney, and they said they couldn't not come back after the crowd showing. And again, this year it's looking like the same. People are so passionate about esports, and it's great to come and see them and their favourite teams live and play what is an amazing experience.
And a big prize pool as well, $310,000 Australian.
Absolutely.
Mate,
absolutely.
Before we move
That's
on
insane.
to talking about RFLAN and RF60, who's your tip? Who takes home the big prize?
Oh, FaZe have been doing pretty well. I have a feeling they might have it in them, but we'll see how they go today. So Mouse Sports are taking on Australis, and FaZe are taking on... who was it? I can't remember. It was someone else who qualified high in the group stages. They've been on form. We'll see how they go.
Unreal. See. Looking forward to it. Enjoy the rest of your time there. Let's move on to RFLAN 60. This is the most recent Red Flag LAN Fest. For those of you watching this right now who don't know what RFLAN is, it essentially is one of the biggest LAN stages in the country. You guys have done an incredible job. I mean, there's 4 a year. We're up to 60 now. That is years in development to get it to where it is now. Give us some of the big numbers from RFLAN 60, the amount of people that were there, the tournaments, all that sort of stuff.
It was insane. So for the Big 6-0, we ran our largest format event, so that's 864 people. We sold out our tickets 10 days before the event.
Wow.
We wish we could make the event bigger, but the venue size and all that, we just have to go with what we've got. But that was insane. People seemed really excited to get onto this event, given we actually hadn't had an event since late September last year. So there's definitely a thirst for the atmosphere we provide. With regards to tournaments, there's all the majors, PUBG, CSGO, Dota, League,
Overwatch.
Overwatch, of course.
I have to mention
my favourite game.
Yep, because it is a favourite amongst many people. And Styrell, who is actually appearing today on the Flaktest Weekly Patch featured match for CVC versus St. Eugene's Esports, he and his team won the Overwatch match from RFLAN. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to watch that, go check out twitch.tv/RFLAN, where we've got VODs for all the semi-finals that we ran. We managed to do our stream this year, which we were very impressed with. We had 400 or 500 concurrent viewers, which is really awesome for a community-based stream. With regard to other numbers, we had over $15,000 in prizes contributed by our sponsors. So very much thank you to them. And that's what makes the atmosphere. People coming down with friendly competition, awesome prizes, and just building a brilliant atmosphere. We have other sort of very large numbers. There's 40 or 50 staff that build up our event network in under 18 hours. So we start Friday morning, and by Friday evening around 8 p.m, we had the event ready to go for Saturday morning.
Wow.
Arnett is our internet sponsor, and without them, we just couldn't put on the network that we do. We've got 20 gigabits of internet connectivity, which was brilliant. People are they come down, they load up their Steam libraries. It's really, really great. If you need to get patches on your games, it's not an issue, and that really makes a difference for what is in Australia. People are used to pretty poor internet, so for us to be able to do that was pretty cool.
To put that in perspective for people watching this right now, I mean, the average person's internet is lucky to reach maybe 20 to 25 megabits per second, and 20 gigabits per second is like 20,000 megabits per second. So that's incredible. Curtin University Technology is where it actually happens. And you mentioned the sponsors, and RFLAN 60, I mean, this is a testament to how big it's growing. You're getting the sponsors bringing down the big stars. You had Barjo, twitch.tv/Barjo stream. He was there streaming a live stream as well, and that was fantastic to watch.
He also did a live interview on Twitch with our casting team as well. So again, twitch.tv/RFLAN for the VODs of that one. They talked everything. They talked media. They talked being a game reviewer, what it was like to play games when he now isn't a game reviewer, and he gave some absolutely brilliant insights. And he's just a really awesome guy. It was awesome for Corsair actually to bring him down. So thank you very much to them. That was brilliant.
Did he speak at all about his time on Good Game? And of course, I mean, we're looking towards the week that's just gone, and Channel 7 has axed Screenplay. So it's a big week in terms of his history, because of course he was one of the very first on Good Game. Exactly.
And so there was a bit of discussion around where to from here, what games media will be moving forward. So it was a really great conversation, and he had some fantastic insights.
Tim, one final thing before we let you go, because as you mentioned, people are out there waiting to get into Intel Extreme Masters. We're not far off from the quarterfinals kicking off, but RF61, how do you top what we saw just this past weekend?
Well, we're going to try. So just keep your ears out. The best place to look for announcements is our website, rflan.org, and our Facebook page. Just look up Red Flag LAN Fest. RF61 is coming up in July. So it's the weekend of the 14th and 15th of July. So mark your calendars, get time off work, make sure you don't have any shifts, and get your mates ready. It's going to be another brilliant event.
Mate, looking forward to it. Enjoy the rest of the Intel Extreme Masters. Tim Raphael, Senior Admin for RFLAN. That's Red Flag LAN Fest with 61 on the way. What a pleasure it is to have a chat to you, mate. Enjoy the rest of IEM.
Thank you very much, Pete.
Mate, it looks like Tim's having a ripper time over there at IEM.
Why wouldn't he be?
I'm so jealous. We would have been there, but we had that killer match to watch yesterday.
That's right, the feature match for round one. So every single week during the Flaktest regional season, we'll be covering off a feature match, a special match that we've pulled out between two teams from one of the 4 games that are regional games this season for Flaktest in 2018.
That's Overwatch, Rocket League, Dota, and CSGO.
That's right.
Pete, what a game you and Styrell watched yesterday.
So Styrell, he's an absolute pro, one of the best tricksters when it comes to playing Overwatch that I've seen. In fact, RFLAN 60...
Oh man, they wiped the floor.
Won the actual tournament there, so well done to them. But yeah, he'll join me in just a moment as we go through this match. It was Vale College from here, Perth, WA, taking on St Eugene's esports from Burpengary in Queensland, and it was such a shock victory. It
was an
CBC.
upset.
It was an upset, to be fair, because St Eugene's very deep history of esports at that high school, very invested. This year, in fact, the last really couple of months since registering with Flaktest as an esports high school club, right, is really when they've invested some time and some energy into esports as a high school.
Yeah, the boys have been training, and they came out swinging. We're thinking these guys are going to have a really good match. We know CBC is a good team. We picked them for the feature match because we thought this is going to be crazy.
Yep. Let's cross to it now. You'll see myself and Styrell as we go to pre-match commentary. You'll see the featured match and then a little bit of a chat about the game afterwards, and then we'll come back to finish up the show.
Welcome. Far out. Here we are.
Here it
Finally,
is.
season 2018 is underway. Hello, my name is Pete Corelli, joined in commentary today for this Overwatch match for round 1 of the 2018 season. Ben Brooks, a.k.a. Styrell. What an absolute pleasure to have you here casting with us.
Pleasure to be here.
Mate, it's amazing. Today, the first match to kick things off every single week during the Flaktest 2018 season. Of the 4 games that we will be concentrating on, Rocket League, CSGO, Overwatch, and Dota, we'll be picking a different game each week to host a feature match. Today, it's Overwatch. As you can see, right?
In case you couldn't tell.
We are good to go. We are raring, and so are the teams. It's Vale College versus St Eugene's Esports as you watch this live on twitch.tv/Flaktest right around the country and around the world. Hello to all of our viewers on Twitch right now. It's so good to have you along, and thank you very much for your time today. Not to mention, we'll be checking out a few of your comments across the course of the match as well, so please, make sure you get on that chat and send them through. We'll be bringing out the best a little bit later on. Let's get stuck into these teams for today's match. It's very exciting. Vale College, captained by their team captain Kaiser. 1 month these guys have been playing together.
Yeah, pretty fresh.
Yeah,
pretty
very fresh indeed. They're looking in terms of strategy at a 2-2-2. Dive comps on attack, and then shield is what they're going to be basically going about their defense. How do you see this team comp coming together?
So they seem like they have everything that they want to do kind of sorted. They're looking for a heavy counter dive based comp. The strange part about what they want to run is that they're thinking about running Reinhardt with a hog, a road hog. Typically you see it run with a Zarya, or maybe even a Diva, but not usually Hog. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out.
I'm very excited. I mean, you look at something like the current Overwatch League, and we just saw news the last sort of 48 hours that we had our first ever attack Torbjorn, and it actually worked for him, So you never know, right? If that guy sits behind the Reinhardt shield and uses that hook right, we may have something on our hands that it may catch St. Eugene's off guard. We'll move on to St. Eugene's now, captained by Scary Muppet. 2 years this team has been playing together, and when you consider what Overwatch is all about, that real fluid motion, flexing between your picks, people working for each other and playing for each other to play the game successfully, that looks like they're going to be a pretty hard team to beat. And when it came to their team strategy, they told us flex comp is basically their play of the game.
Yep. You can change heroes during a round for a reason. Change it depending on what they're running.
That's exactly right. Now, look, in terms of the game, we're not too far from getting underway. We've got pretty much the same competitive rules as what is in the current competitive season. So it's going to be a best of 3 games. We've gone through and we've done our vetoes for the 3 different maps. We'll be rolling Route 66 to start off. Payload, which is good to see. I love it. I love a payload match. I really do.
Being the filthy Ryan player you are, I'm sure you do.
Filthy Ryan player. All right, fair enough. Ilios will roll into the second one, and then we'll be finishing it up with Nepal. Now, Season 10 is out as we speak for Overwatch. Have you done your placement matches already?
Haven't finished them on my main. Have not finished them yet.
I haven't even started them yet.
Oh,
right?
come on, Pete.
And to be honest, the reason why is because I'm a little bit scared because Brigitte is now live.
Yes, she is.
Right, so for me, a shield tank main like a Reinhardt, I've been getting my backside handed to me a fair bit lately.
Yep, enjoying being stunned. Stunned.
And that's pretty much it. And because we're going to be mirroring what people are seeing in competitive as we speak, we're going to be seeing some Brigitte play. So she is available to play in the Flaktest 2018 season. I think it's enough of this from us.
Yep.
It's time to get stuck into the match as we move across to Overwatch now and to the lobby. Let's find and have a look at our teams as we get started for Route 66 right here on Flaktest Season 2018.
Damn it.
All right, as we can see, this is really exciting. I'm pumped. I'm
stoked.
pumped. I'm starting to get a little bit giddy, I guess you could say. Yeah.
The jitters.
As we can see, the picks. We'll go through picks here first. Already from St. Eugene's, who you're seeing to the right of your screen right now. Mercy, a diva. There's that shield tank that they say that they like playing around.
Yep.
It'll be the Zenyatta as well, and the Reaper. And over on the left, as you can imagine from CVC, look, they've been playing together for just a month, but they look like they're already ready to go. Going to be playing that shield tank, DPS. You've got there with the Soldier 76, heals from the Moira, and then the Junkrat, the Zenyatta, and there is that hook that they were talking about before. So we've got 55 seconds. Let's have a look at these two teams. Tell us what you think.
So, coming out from CVC, it's a pretty stock standard comp, if I'm honest. The only minor criticism I might have would be the Moira pick. You could exchange that for a Mercy to definitely boost the damage output from the Soldier 76 on the high ground, but it's still a good pickup regardless. Going to be healing up that team nice and good. They have a lot of shield break with that comp. It's going to be an counter dive by the looks, and if we look onto the side of St. Eugene's, their comp is a little unorthodox, but it should work out. They're going to be, looks like they're going to be sitting the Orisa on the payload. Diva's going to be contesting that high ground, probably with Reaper. I'm not sure how he's going to think about getting up there. McCree's going to be probably babysitting the Zenyatta with the Mercy pocket as well. Well, we'll just have to wait and see how this one's going to play out. The games are about to open.
Attack commencing. I'm about ready to start yelling these numbers out. I'm good to go. I will pass it on to you. You will be calling the shots for the game. Take it away, Styrell.
All right, so we're going to be coming out of the gates right now. Obviously, going to approach the payload nice and slow. Going around the corner shortly. Reaper getting the high ground. And the spam starts to come in from the Junkrat. First shield coming out from Orisa, and it's going to be swiftly taken down. Soldier might have got sucked off the high ground. That's okay. He can just get back up there from the stairs in the behind. Diva taking a lot of damage, but the Mercy beam getting hard-pocketed with the heals right now. The high ground going strong, but the Reaper looks like he's actually infiltrated the backline somehow. But no, I could be wrong. The damage still just coming through. That's a first pickup. The Mercy is also dead for the side of St. Eugene's. This is going to be an easy breezy first fight defense. What do you reckon,
the goods
Pete?
there. Oh, I reckon that Reaper. You did exactly what you were saying that he was. He managed to sneak in behind the team and tear them apart. This is really good play so far by CVC getting an opportunity to push this nice and early. I mean, that corner, it tends to be one of those corners where, you know, when you are playing this game, you can either have one of those games where you just get stopped there for the entire match, or you manage to push it through quite easily. I often haven't seen it sort of stand there for a little while, so this is really good play.
Diva gets D-Max. Oh, that's going to be bad, but the baby Diva's still living, gets the pocket from the Mercy. Orisa drops low. Kaiser getting taken out of the fight. The Riptide coming through, takes out the baby Diva. Orisa pops her shift, and Reaper's going to get taken down again, and looks like another easy hold for CVC.
Great play there by St. Eugene's to hold this CVC team back.
It's not over yet though. Diva shifting in. Takes a lot of damage. Might get demective, and she does. That's really not good. You can't be making mistakes like that here. I hear a Visor on the high ground. A great McCree flashbang. That was insane. Forces him to back off, but it's still going strong. But the Reaper on the backline. Where's that coming from? Take it to you, Pete.
That McCree, just then, that was a game changer. That was a game changer because you saw that Razor had managed to get around behind this team and he was throwing down sights. He had an opportunity to basically clear wipe the team and get another hold here, but if it wasn't for that McCree and that perfect stun timed beautifully, they might not have been able to push it the way that they did.
But it looks like that stun isn't going to matter. CVC still holding strong. They just know exactly what they want to do. Pepper them with damage, get that D.Va out of mech, and then they went for the visor. Like, simple. It's simple stuff for CVC right now. They just know what's up.
Really enjoying this match so far. A lot of action as we were hoping for to open up the round 1 stages of this Overwatch season for Flaktest 2018 right around the country on twitch.tv/Flaktest.
Now, St. Eugene's, this is their chance. They've got 3 ultimates in the bank. They've got High Noon, Mercy, and the Orisa. So we're going to have to see what they can do with that. But that was a bongo, not a bongo, a tire. Going to be taking out the Zenyatta in the back line, and that's just straight loss as Mercy falls with the McCree.
Again, this was... Oh, was that a sneak?
That's insane!
It was a sneak attack!
By himself gets the back cap. Oh my goodness, I thought that was going to be a full hold.
That was one of the most incredible plays, and we're only, what, 5 minutes into season 2018.
Oh, the brain on this man, Reaper.
As you can see, Kyber there taking a moment out to just comment and go, what is going on here?
What is happening? Don't see that every day. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing for CVC. Worth mentioning that St. Eugene's have swapped off to the Reinhardt. Looks like they're not a big fan of the Orisa. They also have Nana, but Roadhog going in with the ultimate, peppering a lot of damage. Reinhardt getting pushed back into the left corner. Anna trying to escape with her life, pops the nade. She's going to be okay as the hook missed. And it's just looked like it's going to have to be a hard reset for St. Eugene's. But D.Va, oh no! The brutal D.Va stack are going to be coming in. They have to kill the baby, not letting her out, hopefully. She's running off to the right, which isn't the best play, but Hannah, keeping her healthy, not healthy enough.
This has been an incredible piece of play by CVC. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know, that Reaper highlight that we saw before to get them across the payload while the rest of the team were keeping them busy, that was amazing to see. But CVC have pulled something out here to be able to hold as well as they are doing. And I've got to be honest with you, considering this team has only played together for about a month when they're taking on St. Eugene's, who have had a couple of years together, they're doing a lot better than what I thought they would. This is some beautiful play from CVC.
And you see the tire coming in now. Fire Strike missed. That would have been a freebie if he could have hit that. But it takes out the Ana in the back line, but there's going to be res. Unfortunately, Reaper's still dead, so this is a 5v6. D.Va taking too much damage in the front line, gets demeked again. As D.Va just keeps taking a little bit too much damage, fighting off a little more than she can chew. And Reinhardt going to get taken down, and that's another swift defense.
How do you find the Reinhardt change so far? Has it worked for him?
I don't think it's been working too much for them so far. At least with the Orisa, you know, the shield cooldown, it's reasonable, so you can get that shield back up again. But Reinhardt, when his shield's getting taken down, he has to completely back out of the fray and wait for it to charge.
Now, there's not a chance. With 60 seconds remaining and 42 meters for them to gain, Reaper, considering this particular corner, is not going to be able to sneak up on them like they did. So they've got to pull something out here.
He does have the Death Blossom though, so that's gonna have to be the biggest Death Blossom of 2018 for them to be able to take this one. But you see, he's on the flank, insta kills the soldier. He has the ultimate, he's moving in, but he has to watch out. Zenyatta does have trance and response. A nice shift, gonna back out here.
Oh,
Still
well,
has the ultimate though.
My heart beat it out of my chest just then. I thought he was gonna get that.
They have to do this. They have to pick this one up. I hear a blade coming into the back line. It's going to get one. He gets the dash reset. Kills the Mercy too. Can he get a third? Mora doesn't have a fade, but Genji dropping low. Oh, he gets it. He gets it with the help of the soldier, and it's just Orisa on the payload. 8 seconds ticking down. It looks like CVC are going to be taking this one.
CVC are going to get the stop here right on the corner. 42 meters left. That was a fantastic round from CVC.
But it's not over. I believe St. Eugene's can do it. I mean, you saw CVC, they almost full held. If it wasn't for the cheeky back cat, that was still... I don't know how that happens.
Neither do I. Okay, favourite play from the game so far?
Probably that blade. I think the blade was nice.
The blade?
We didn't get to see the POV until the very end, but... I think it was really good. He got a swift 2 pickups with the dash reset and helped kill the Mora. Besides that, probably the insta-kill from the Reaper onto the Soldier. That was just nice.
I'll tell you what, I mean, the Reaper, oh, wow. I mean, I love that, right? Because clearly there's some conversation going on with the team talking to each other, going, look, they're bunched so tightly together. We're talking about this corner here, this first corner. They're bunched so tightly together. There's an opportunity for Reaper to be able to sneak in behind, jump on that payload. It's close enough where if he sneak attacks well enough, we can get that payload to that end and push on, right? And they've managed to do that. One of my favourite plays of the game so far, without a doubt. But you've got to hand it to this CVC team. They've done a magnificent job of holding off a team that, quite frankly, I thought were going to wipe the floor with them.
Yeah, I mean, 2 years of experience. You expect a lot of synergy.
So here we go. We changed things up a little bit with 30 seconds to go. CVC having an opportunity to attack now. They've got a fair way to push, but, you know.
They do.
They managed to hold off without St. Eugene's getting right to the end. These two team compositions, what are you seeing strong?
Well, going to be running a dive comp for CVC. It's looking strong. Again, it seems they love to run the Moira. I guess it's just a comfort pick for him, but it's looking really strong dive comp with the Genji Tracer, both dive tanks. Going to be taking that high ground. Should be pretty simple to take that high ground for them, but they do have a lot of damage on the side of St. Eugene's with a Pharah pick, which is a little unusual.
CVC coming out now. We are onto this, the second part of the map. Tracer is what we're looking at right now, going straight in there looking to dive. I'll pass it on to you for the run-by-run commentary.
She's looking for a flank right now, just taking down the shield, getting the damage out there, and here we go. She's on the back. Pharah has the Discord up. D.Va goes in. Pharah dropping really low, but has the orb on her. Orisa dropping low as well with the D.Va going to be taking out the enemy. Zenyatta has to back off, has to peel. Needs those heals from the Mercy. Tracer manages to get the flank. Orisa dropping really low, has the Moira heals. How's the tracking going from Tracer? But she gets taken down. Unfortunately, couldn't get the final blows out.
That was a really nice early dive from CVC to break up that combination from St. Eugene sitting up the top there. But obviously, Eugene's coming together well.
Looks like they're going to be taking the high ground again. A nice orb from the Zenyatta. Going to be taking out Scary Muppet on that Soldier, but looks like they have to back off just for a second as Winston's low. But the payload is still moving forward until now. Until just then. I don't know how that Zenyatta managed to get themselves there, but the Pharah gets taken down. There was excellent execution there. A pulse bomb onto the Orisa gets taken down. A visor from the high ground. That's going to have to be massive, but the tracking for this D.Va is absolutely absurd.
This is some exceptional D.Va play.
It is, and the enemy D.Va dropping low, but has the Coalescence, but it's not enough. Coalescence has to drop back with that one, and it's just going to be staggering from here on out as CVC going to be taking the first point, and it's just brutal staggers.
This D.Va continues to push hard. They managed to get themselves another couple of kills on the inside here. This is fantastic play. They've got so much more time than St. Eugene's had at this point.
They do. 4 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock right now. Genji has the blade. He's looking for a big one. He's looking for a juicy blade target right now. Pharah a little bit too close for comfort. Don't want to be that close to a Genji, but he does miss the dash, so she's going to be getting out.
If I was St. Eugene's, I might think about switching off the Pharah. This D.Va is just doing such a good job of tracking that Pharah and negating her.
The Discord orbs have been really on point. I hear a bongo being dropped. D.Va dropping low on the cart, has the Discord up, drops the bomb to remech here. Will she be able to remech in time? Doesn't look like a D.Va on that. And Genji just getting the blade, just for good measure, you know. This fight taken pretty handily, and that looks like quite a simple game.
CVC. Wow. What a game by CVC. They literally blew St. Eugene's off the map. This has got to be
Reaper.
This has got to be that play.
Yep, you see him. Orisa a little bit too close. You don't want to be hugging a Reaper like that as tanks just dropping low. Gets a two-piece, or gets the tiring Junkrat. Wow, that's a 3K.
Let's have a look at these cards here. Endless Mick with 28 eliminations and a 20 kill streak.
20 kill streak on a Moira.
If you don't mind. Kaiser with, there you go. That is some fantastic play by Kaiser.
That is very good.
61% participation in those kills, saying that the shield tank, I mean, it wasn't just about shield tanking, but also just being involved in those kills.
Yeah. We didn't get to see much from her perspective, but it's actually pretty hard to like lead the Orisa shots like to hit the enemies because of the delay. It's like a projectile. So that's quite impressive.
In this best of 3 series, right around the country on Twitch TV/Flaktest, thank you for joining us. We've got another, well, it might be 2 games on the way.
Exactly.
We're going to switch things up in just a moment. When we come back, we're back with CVC versus St. Eugene's for Overwatch in round 1. It's Ilios. We'll be seeing who can take the point. Welcome back to Twitch.tv/Flaktest. My name is Pete Corelli. With me in commentary for today's match is Ben Brooks, a.k.a. Styrell. Far out, we just witnessed an epic and a big surprise. We went through these team compositions in the pre-match, today's match of Regional Season 2018. The first round, we're covering Overwatch, and our 2 teams are CVC, Canning Vale College, right here in Perth, WA, taking on Burpengary in Queensland, that is St. Eugene's esports. And St. Eugene's, we mentioned in the pre-match coverage that they've had a couple of years to play together, this particular team. You know, so we were really looking forward to some cohesion between them, and then looking at CVC saying that they'd only played for about a month together. Right? But far out, CVC in that first Route 66 payload map, they blew St. Eugene's off.
Yeah, they killed it.
Yep.
They absolutely nailed it. Just the synergy. You saw it between the Diva and the Zenyatta. You could tell there was communication there. Like, that Pharah is Discorded, dive her. And Diva would just be like, yeah, okay, drop what I'm doing.
That Diva's tracking is some of the best I've seen.
I know. It was actually really accurate. Very surprising.
All right, we're going to move on now. We've got the second of this best of 3 series between these 2. We're moving on to Ilios. It's a point map. I'm very excited. I love me a little bit of Ilios.
Yeah?
Particularly, well, I'm not the biggest fan of the well.
Yeah.
And the reason being is because I usually get hooked into it. But aside from that,
conked, everything.
Let's move across now to Ilios as we make our way back into this round 1 match between CVC and St. Eugene's.
Here we go.
Now arriving at Ilios.
What map are we going to get?
Here we go.
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse it is.
Lighthouse it is.
So obviously with Lighthouse right down the barrel, right in the middle, as with all of these particular style of plays when it comes to point maps. But
hey Pete, look in the top right. What do you see?
Here? Oh,
I see a Brigitte.
We see a Brigitte.
We see a Brigitte.
The first time we have been looking forward to seeing a Brigitte. This is really exciting. The other thing, of course, you know, is that we're looking at CVC over on the left-hand side. They haven't gone with a shield tank just yet. Picks are still happening, right?
But looking strong, boys.
Very excited.
Let's get it.
About the only thing that I can see is going to help them combat this Brigitte is another diver, particularly someone who can knock back or hook. We've got Kyber taking on Doomfist. That's going to be handy against that Brigitte.
Yep.
And of course, you know, if Swift Shadow manages to get that hook up and running, then that's going to be good to see as well.
Yep. The picks aren't locked in. I think they were just memeing a little bit at the start there with the sim, obviously. Wouldn't expect a little meme. Meme. But it's going to be a dive coming out from CVC. And a bit of a very unorthodox Brigitte comp coming out from St. Eugene's. They have 2 off tanks. Usually you'd like to see a main tank. And to follow up, it's a Zarya Diva. Not a heck of a lot of synergy between them. But here we go, fight's about to kick off.
Maybe they're looking for that dive from the Diva and getting a few extra seconds in there with a bit of an attack and that tracking with the bubble.
Yeah, good point. But they're just choking themselves up right now in this mega room, trying to look for an opportunity.
We've just had an ask for a pause from CVC.
Well, we get a pause out in a second.
We'll see how that goes, but this is quite the push. There's the McCree coming in. Knocks out the Anna. And again, CVC managing to clear the point.
Indeed. Not sure if we're going to have this pause out. We could restart the map as if a pause was required there.
There it is, the pause.
We could potentially restart the map as that is unfair, I believe. It's
We're going to do that. We're getting the look from our match officials right now. We are going to restart this map. We'll come back to it in just a moment. Brigitte didn't have an opportunity to really play much there.
Not really.
I'll tell you what, with a restart here, it also gives St. Eugene's an opportunity to regroup.
Yeah.
Because we were seeing, once again, that synergy between CVC having an opportunity to blow St. Eugene's off the map yet again.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that St. Eugene's drop the Brigitte because it did look like there was a comp running from CVC that the Brigitte wasn't really going to be able to impact on anyway.
Brigitte's effectiveness lies in the ability to death ball, clump up together and play as a unit. But they, with a D.Va Zarya, it impedes that. You cannot clump together and do it effectively with those tanks. So,
15 seconds to go before we enter this. We're at the well.
The well.
The well. Well. Very excited to see how they come out and play. Look at that. No Brigitte.
No Brigitte.
No Brigitte
This is true.
from St. Eugene's. Running again a bit of a dive comp. Obviously the 2 dive tanks there. I would say, and it's been pretty much the go from them the entire match, that word unorthodox.
Yes.
Very
unorthodox.
Very unorthodox.
Again, they have no defensive ults here with an Ana Mora. No defensive ults. So if CVC decide to pick up a Genji, which they are, that's going to be a free blade. Just get another pause here.
We've had another pause. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut back to our waiting screen, and we'll be back in just a moment as we figure out exactly what's happening with Khyber. It has happened a couple of times in this match on Ilios. It would be a real shame if they couldn't get this up and running, because it would have to mean a forfeit from this CVC team.
That would be brutal.
And that would be brutal considering how well they've been playing. We'll be back right here on twitch.tv/Flaktest in just a moment.
Thoughts and prayers with Khyber.
We're back. Welcome. Twitch.tv/Flaktest right around the country. Round 1 in the regionals for Overwatch. CVC to the left of your screen in blue, taking on St. Eugene's College from Queensland to the right of your screen in red. Finally, it looks like we have all of these issues sorted for Khyber. First, of what we understand, it's a connectivity issue with his mouse, and then we had some disconnection problems. Khyber is now back on deck, and so is this match. 10 seconds left to play. No stream sniping, guys. No stream sniping.
No stream sniping.
We know you've had your
That's
opportunities now. Let's see how we go as we're back in on the well. Take it away, Styrell.
Oh, well, I think the game's actually started. You got pranked, Pete. You got pranked. Where's Scotty and the Ninjas?
This is happening. Can we get a spaghetti in chat? What's a spaghetti?
A spaghetti? I said Scotty and the Ninjas.
Scotty and the Ninjas.
Don't worry. Obscure reference. It's okay. Just taking a look at the comps. It's the comp is now looking good from St. Eugene's. And same on the other side. Strong comps on both teams. Looks like St. Eugene's are more focused on the counter dive, seeing as their DPS lineup is going to consist of a McCree and Junkrat. Very good at shutting down diving tanks.
These are fairly even teams right now, aren't they?
They are.
What we're looking at.
In terms of comp, they are very, very even.
A little bit better team composition from both. Absolutely.
Pops her shift, and the bubble is popped from the Winston. Pretty early in the fight, Winston diving in. D.Va isn't helping him out with the defense matrix. Monkey's going to get dropping low, doesn't get taken out. Oh, just at the end, gets taken out. D.Va mech dropping low. Junkrat trying to get out of there. And Mora just spraying the yellow heal orbs everywhere.
Both Winstons going down very early. That looked like a pretty confident dive by the Winston on St. Eugene's very early on, which didn't pay off for them, unfortunately. But then again, you mentioned it, there was no support there from the D.Va.
The D.Va really waited a little too long. I'm not sure if she had her shift up, but if she did, then that was certainly a misplay. Her Winston really needed support. If he had a defense matrix with him, he definitely would have got out of that alive.
Very clear that Khyber's mouse is working again.
Yes.
Because he's racking up the kills. I mean, you look at that. He's almost at ult. 3% off ult, and we're already just about there. Razor and Kaiser already at ult as well. The ult advantage clearly with CVC.
Indeed. Overpowered doesn't quite have his trans at 70%, so this could be a free blade. Might be the only ult they need to win this one, depending on if he gets it. And you hear it, the blade in the backline right now. You can't see what's going on. Winston dives up, really dropping low. And that blade is going to secure it. I think he got 3. I think he got 3 men with that blade. A one-man army, truly. Kaiba got that mouse sorted.
That's
you can see it.
One of the most scary things in this game when you're playing against a Genji and you hear that.
You hear the angry Japanese,
hear the angry Japanese
coming in.
Oh, because you know, especially if he's playing well, that's it.
Yep.
So, looking quite good here is CVC once again. Managed to withstand that push from St. Eugene's. St. Eugene's now, though, they've got a couple of vaults up their sleeve if they want to push, but Guilty Quadra, as Lucio, does have that ult up the sleeve to be able to negate.
He does, so hopefully we're going to be looking for an opening tire. That could open the fight up, and here we go, the tire going in. Let's see if we can get something. Lucio decides to bypass, gets the ulting Mora. That's a huge pick. The healing going to be really low for St. Eugene's right now. The McCree trying to duel the Tracer in the backline, but she backs off. D.Va pushing forward onto the tanks. The beat comes out. Winston dropping too low, pops the primal. High Noon coming out, doesn't pick up anyone. The bomb in is going to be huge. It's huge! A massive bomb coming in from the side of CVC, and 94% on the tick timer.
And our first team kill as the Genji goes in with his blade.
It's just a victory blade.
It's a victory blade.
Just happy to be here. Kaiba's just happy to be here on the team.
A clean 100% point take, and CVC is one game, one round away from taking out the first featured match of the season.
Oh, man, that's rough. St. Eugene's didn't get to cap the point once.
How does St. Eugene's come back from this? What team composition do they need to go with to take on, particularly this Genji, who is wiping the floor with them single-handedly?
Perhaps I think a tank-heavy comp would be good. If you're playing against dive comp, if you huddle together with a heavy tank comp, you know, the Rhine, the D.Va, the Hog, the Zarya, with the Mora Lucio, it can be really hard for Genjis to be effective, and Tracers also. So if they decided to run that could help them out, but deciding against it instead, they're going back to this very unorthodox tank composition with St. Eugene's, the D.Va Zarya. So Zarya should get a lot of energy with her bubbles onto the D.Va at least, but doesn't have much protection herself.
Well, it is an opportunity because they are taking a lot of damage, this particular team. So they can use the bubble right. They can really put that beam out at high power.
Yeah. It's just a standoff right now. It's D.Va moved to the point, but standing still. Could be a potential disconnect, but we're not sure. Zarya going to be getting a lot of energy from the bubble. Reaper in the front line, gets the Mega. He's looking for that Winston. That Winston's looking rather juicy, but dashes out. The Mora healing him up. And Reaper might have to back out here as D.Va pressuring him down. He does have his fade. He's going to be fading away, but the point was capped by CVC here.
Once again with another cap, and you know, just throughout that play, that initial push.
Genji got a blade! Genji got a blade! That quickly! How long are we into the round? And he picks up a blade.
We're not even 2 minutes into this match. Right? I mean, they've capped the point. We're at 17% so far, but we're not even 2 minutes into this match, and this Kaiba, this Genji, is already pulling out a blade. That's some insane play.
If you see a Genji get a Dragon Blade before a Mora gets Coalescence, that's, you know he's doing work.
It's telling, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite telling. They have point control. Zarya pushing in. No self-bubble, so if she overextends here, she should be punished for that one. Lucio has his beat drop available. Huge dink coming out from Razor on the McCree. Uncontested on the high ground, gets another dink. Zarya has no self-bubble. He's pushing forward, but the D.Va is there on the Peel game. Peel game strong. A big flashbang. D.Va's going to get demeched. McCree dropping low, but he has the support from his team, and that's just going to be a stagger. Let's see if they stagger the kill. No, not very much, but still a stagger nonetheless.
55% on the point. You'd really think that they've got one more good push in them, and they certainly don't have anything to do with their ults at the moment. Coalescence, the only thing available.
And
Zenyatta has just picked up Trance as well.
Indeed. This is gonna have to be a huge bomb actually coming out from D.Va. D.Va almost there. She could go large with that. Absolutely huge. But we'll have to wait and see. The team's just testing the waters right now. Winston dropping low, has to back up to the point. But a lot of ults on the side of CVC right now. So they have a lot to work with.
They're just banking their ults right now for that push, aren't they? That's what they're doing.
You know, even if they lose this fight, they'll be fine if they don't use anything. But McCree, High Noon's in the back, gets a good flashbang, but does end up going down. The Dragon Blade comes out. Baby D.Va taken down, gets the dash reset. Dashes, gets the ulti Mora. Can he get more? This man almost gets the 3k or a 4k, but gets taken down by Scary Muppet on that Junkrat. The beat is dropped. Junkrat Just a Hail Mary at this point. The trans coming in late, just trying to touch the point. That one needed to be popped a little bit earlier, but time is ticking down. Can Diva touch? No. Huge body box from the Winston. And that's it.
That is game.
That's it.
CVC
They're monsters. They're
wiped
monsters.
the floor with St. Eugene's. Great play between these two.
Kyber.
The GG's right across there.
Can you
Of
expect
course it was
anyone else?
Kyber.
Can you
Give
expect
Kyber
anyone
a round of
else?
applause.
This man. I would
This
like to say
man?
single.
This machine.
this machine. This beast. This freak of nature gets the dash resets, the bomb to accompany it, and finishes off the Moira as well.
I don't even know. Look
Gets
at that.
the card. 7
4
Dragon Blade.
Dragon Blades.
Oh,
Koala asking, is that a Pro
well
Genji?
deserved. Is it a Pro Genji?
It may as well be.
May as well. We have to see.
That is one of the most incredible pieces of play from a Genji that we have seen. Far out. I don't even know what to say with regard to what we've just witnessed. We looked through these teams before we came to call this match today and thought to ourselves, wow, St. Eugene's 2 years playing together. You've got the runs on the board, a very well-organised and structured esports club over there at St. Eugene's in Burpengary in Queensland.
Yeah.
But Canning Vale College, they've played together for just a month.
I know.
It is incredible. Do you think it was, I mean, look, particularly on that second map, the first map, sure, we spoke about this. There was a lot of synergy there. They played very well together, organised, structured, communicating.
Yeah.
They did the same again on the second map, but far out, that Genji was a carry.
He was. He just knew. He had so many opportunities to go for these big blades, and he just wasn't punished. I mean, they had a McCree. St. Eugene's had a McCree. They could have flashbang, dinked him. He's dead. Dragon Blade dealt with, but no.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick break. That is it for today's match, but we'll come back with a little bit of post-match analysis very soon on twitch.tv/Flaktest. Don't go anywhere. And it's safe to say that CVC came out swinging.
They did. Just their cohesion. I mean, only being together for a month and being that cohesive and having that amount of synergy, like, it's impressive. It's genuinely impressive.
Is that carries, or is it someone who's in there communicating well, a really good shot caller? What is that?
I think there was definitely some good shot calling. I mean, you saw them cycling ultimates well, so they wouldn't blow all their ults. St. Eugene sometimes would just use their ults a little bit willy-nilly, if I say so myself. But yeah, CVC, they thought about. I think they were comming like which ults we should use. Like, let's go in with the tire, and if we pick up enough players, then nothing else. Don't use anything else.
First map was Route 66. Again, coming back to CVC, St. Eugene's managed to get them. St. Eugene's were on defense first. On attack first. With CVC on defense. First, they managed to get an opportunity to get a stop on the first corner. Then that Reaper came out of nowhere and just sneaked the payload to the first stop.
The absolute madman.
Okay, and then they managed to stop them again on the second corner in the second lane. Okay, and then we flipped the map, and CVC just got a really good push on from there.
Yeah, pretty much. They were basically the way they were playing. They were playing a high damage counter dive strategy. So all they were doing was focusing on demeching the Diva and then just taking it from there. They didn't need to push. They just needed to hold their ground, which they were doing really well on the high ground. They didn't really have much contention because of their heavy damage. And they were building ults really quickly, and then they would cycle their ults. I kept seeing their tire, the Junkrat. He would use Rip Tire. He would get a pick. They would do a little bit of a push, get them out, and then that was it. And then next fight, they would use a different ult. Push them out, done. Next fight, different ult. So they were just cycling ults really well.
The other thing was banking ults really well too. So we move on to Ilios, which was the second map. 2 points in a row. CVC took a clean sweep.
Yep.
Right, but it was that. I mean, for me in particular, a couple of things out of that match. They were banking ults really well.
Yeah.
They were communicating really well. They were shot calling really well. And then the other thing, of course, Kybor, particularly with that Genji, that sword was just too dangerous.
Exactly. Too sharp on that boy.
The 2 matches in a row for CVC as they take out this round 1 match. We had the player of the game from the first match going to the Reaper from St. Eugene's. Kybor's Genji gets it on the second one. Who's your match MVP?
Got to give it to Kyber. Could it be anyone else?
Yeah.
It really couldn't.
I don't think it could be.
Don't need a book for that one.
So there you
Simple.
go. Bank that one. For those of you that are watching us on twitch.tv/Flaktest right around the country, if you are in the Overwatch season, have a good look at these matches and have a good look at CVC, because that is the benchmark that has been set for for this season 2008.
So the team to beat so far. Love
Absolutely.
To see how they go.
A big thank you to the production team right around here at Flaktest headquarters, and a massive thanks to you, Ben Brooks, aka Styrell.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, mate. An absolute pleasure.
The
We'll look
pleasure's all
forward
mine.
to the next call next week, right here on twitch.tv/Flaktest at 12 p.m. AWST. You're going to see a brand new game from the regional season. We're thinking CSGO for our next one, so we're looking forward to that. And a brand new set of teams going head-to-head for our feature match. Don't forget, get across all of our social medias. Find us on Facebook, find us on Twitch, find us on Instagram, and of course, right here, get everybody involved. Follow us on twitch.tv/Flaktest. Tomorrow, across Facebook and Twitch, you're going to see the weekly patch. This is our brand new TV show that's going to be broadcast every single week during the season. We're really looking forward to it. It'll cover off the top news that gamers need to know across the country and across the world, including the Intel Extreme Masters, which are on as we speak. We're going to cross live to IEM as it's happening, to a good friend of ours over there, and you'll see the highlights from this weekend's matches as well. Have a fantastic weekend in gaming. We'll catch you then on twitch.tv/Flaktest.
Welcome back. You're watching the Flaktest Weekly Patch, Round 1, Season 2018. It's Pete and Jake here from the Flaktest Gaming team. If you want to catch up on anything at all, make sure you're checking out all of our socials and being across them, either right here on twitch.tv/Flaktest. You might be watching this right now on YouTube or catching up with it on Facebook, and of course find us on Twitter and Instagram.
And Pete, don't forget, you can jump onto flaktest.com, our website. At any point through the year, you can sign up your school to be a high school esports club. And what that does, that lets you get into those monthly community events that we're holding. One's happening right now. It's the Star Wars Minecraft build competition. So you jump on and you get to play some really cool games with us.
Yep.
Next month, I believe we're doing a Hearthstone 1v1 event.
Right, 1v1 for Hearthstone, baby. Looking forward to that.
It's going to be really cool. But what we're going to do, we're going to leave you with some of the guys playing Minecraft right now as they build their Star Wars entries for the competition.
Have a great weekend and a great week. We'll catch you next weekend for round 2 of action on the Flaktest Weekly Patch.